Well, here we are. Just a slight breeze. Might sound worse on the microphone. I haven't done this in a while because this whole thing here was taking like 8 million years to do. So here we are. Final video on the Whalom Park for a whale of a time. As you can see, it's all nice and condo-y now. In fact, right there used to be a roller coaster. We have to move because someone's playing music. So, I believe here we have some pictures. Let's go look at the pictures. Now, if you actually want to see videos from Whalom Park, now keep in mind, this park closed in 2000, so the videos that exist, and you may have to search a bit to find rides besides the roller coaster, they are not going to be the best because, well, and they had a boat, and they had a water slide, which used to exist right there. Those water slides right there. So I mean, pause if you want to see these any longer. Yeah, we're not going to spend a whole ton of time looking at this, as you get to see my ugly mug. Like, yeah, the funny thing about a lot of the buildings that were in Whalom Park is they were very minimalistic and kind of looked like they were half-assed. But in actuality, they weren't bad. And we did have a paddle boat at one time here at Whalom Lake. Here it is, like most of your amusement parks, it was just a park, maybe a boat or two, and then it became more than that. The original coaster, not sure when that got destroyed. I know one of them got destroyed in a hurricane of '38 when a tornado came through. And oddly enough, 14 years prior, in '24, a tornado came through. So here's Midway. There's a performance. A lot of these have faded out. There's the roller coaster again. Here's a bird's eye view. There used to be bathhouses, and they're gone. Entrance to the Comet roller coaster. I've been here long before the water slide. They had little pits where you could wash your feet. No one used them because the water was really disgusting. I believe is the last coaster. One of the boats they were in. Oh, look at that. That's the ride known as the Whip, and it was out in the open at one point. It was enclosed ever since I've known. And one of my favorite rides. And it got destroyed in a fire. The Pirate's Den. That was my favorite, and that's when it was being built. It was a dark ride. 1981, it burnt down. I had no reason to be here ever since. The kiddie train. They had the occasional character. I've said you can pause if you want to see some of these. Some of these are a bit redundant. And the main parking lot. And there. Beach. And I think we're on the last side. The boathouse, which wasn't a thing when I was here. I'm not sure what that was. Some of these I can't really see too well. Alright, and then we're back to where we started. Yeah, so right in there, with behind those two kids there, right in that area actually, was the water slide. But before that, there were the bathhouses. This walk always existed. Now, somewhere in the vicinity of here used to be a 6-car garage that was converted into the skee ball. It was a whole building with old skee ball machines before they went with digital displays. I'd have to say, far better thing than what's there now. And I have to keep talking because somebody's blasting music. Not sure who, not sure when. I'm not sure how well this is going to go, but I plan on walking through. But I want to show some things. Some things that exist, some things that probably don't exist anymore. Now, there always were little bars and restaurants on the side here. I think there was one here, I just can't remember what it was. And I'll keep the waterfront clean. A lot of people aren't really doing a good job with that. There's the lake again. And just on the other side he's building, or maybe it isn't on the other side, is the city of Leominster. That over there is Leominster for sure. Now let's see if I can see something. Pizza joint here. I swore one of these had a telltale sign of where I could locate a few rides. As we talk over the loud, well, it's not loud music. It's enough YouTube will hit us. Yeah, somewhere in here. Yeah, the condos kind of hide it. Like I said, I'm not 100% sure. Alright, we had to stop because the guy blasting music left, and we had quite a bit of copyright moment to deal with. So I mean, these were bars, and there was a dance hall in here somewhere. Long gone. Alright, let's see, was it this road? Let's see. One of these roads past the house to let's see. I'm in this guy's way. This looks like a private road. Yeah, somewhere in there was the house that was an office building. Anyway, if we see it, we'll cut in. Otherwise, we'll show you the front. This was always outside of Whalom Park. Only difference is there was a convenience store where the pizza joint is, and there was an arcade my father and I would frequent, and that was the where the liquor store is now. Anyway, this map is definitely not to scale by any means, because Whalom Park was kind of a rectangular parcel, and this I found off of the internet, kind of square shaped. But right here, sorry for shaking, I have tremors, I cannot do anything about that. There's some terraforming because these hills were not this steep. It was gradual climb. Yeah, the Ferris wheel was about there. The carousel was just on the opposite side of this condo. And there also used to be a ton of parking over here. Then if we walk along the grass because, yeah, it's a little safer because there's no sidewalk. Walk along here. Yeah, this park had a very spotty safety record. A lot of their rides were perfectly safe, but then there were a lot of them that gave them trouble. Like right about here, at the top of the hill, used to be the slide, which is the big thing right there with Whalom on it. Bumper cars. Roundup or, yeah, right. Where is it? There it is, Roundup. The octopus. Yeah, Roundup, also known as the body smasher. A lot of people get hurt on that one. Also, a funny story, speaking of that convenience store that used to be there. On the 4th of July weekend, Whalom Park would have fireworks displays. And in the early 80s, they were great. Then one time in the, I think it was like mid-80s, we went into that convenience store. And as we were cashing out, the fireworks started. So then we went out of the store, and you could park across the street at the time. There was a business there that was closed. So we parked there. Like I said, we went across the street, got all comfortable, and literally a minute later, the show was over. And that's when we stopped going to the fireworks shows at Whalom Park, because I think that was kind of a telltale sign of how things were going very downhill. Now, if the wind wants to play nice, over, yeah, where that second condo is over there, would be the fun house, which, boy, does Mother Nature not want to play nice or what? The fun house that's in the middle there. And it says skee ball, but that was actually, when I was coming here, it was an arcade with vintage 60s and electromechanical 70s arcade and electromechanical games, the real old stuff. Near the roller coaster, they had a modern arcade. But when this map was made, it was skee ball. And in the very beginning, it was a candlepin bowling alley with the world's first candlepin bowling, first automatic candlepin pin setters. The very first Bowlmores, 1939. Here at Whalom Park. Or what used to be Whalom Park. Now if we go all the way to the end over here, used to be a restaurant called Cappy's over there. Used to have great spaghetti and meatballs. Then it became Sean Patrick's, which it was okay. And it got better. And now it's in Il Forno's, which I believe is Italian. Anyway, not going to go too much further this way. But over here, yeah, right there in the center, there's the Welcome to Leominster sign. And right over here at this end was the train. If Mother Nature wants to play nice and let us show you that, there you go. They had a kiddie park behind it. And somewhere, yeah, somewhere over here in these trees was the Pirate's Den, my favorite ride, which you saw in the very beginning when we were looking at those pictures. Yeah, I don't think we have a way up. So let's see if we can kind of pinpoint where some rides were. And you get to see how not so big Whalom Park really is. Although the course, the video and the cameras will make everything look bigger than what it really is. I mean, like I said, this area was a parking lot, and they terraformed hills in here that never really existed. Like this steep one. This was all gradual. Almost flat. Yeah, so like I said, it's a little sketchy. But just behind that house there was the trains. And in the middle, approximately where that house is, was the midway. And another 20 feet past the road that was next to the midway was a mini golf course. We are on Carousel Lane. Now, many of the buildings that were here were supposed to have been saved and repurposed for, common buildings and condos, but they were in such horrendous shape. Yeah, I've seen videos where they condemned the fun house, I think, or one of the attractions next to it, like a few years before the whole park closed. So some of these buildings were in horrible condition before the park closed. There's some videos like the train ride. All right, let me take a look here. Yeah, right behind this house here was the building where the bumper cars were. Now, like I said, the map we're looking at is not exactly true to scale. It's kind of drawn as if it were a square, but it was a rectangle. So the left to right dimensions are a bit squished. As you will be able to tell, there's only 2 rows of these small houses, this row here and that row there, and that's pretty much almost it. That's almost the whole park width-wise. It wasn't really that big. It was one of the things that probably doomed Whalom Park. That and the fact that another family park, Canopy Lake, about 30 miles or so from here in New Hampshire, was bigger and kept up with the times, whereas Whalom Park did not. For example, when pirate ships were big, Canopy Lake had a pirate ship. Whalom Park did not. Then drop towers became big, and then Whalom Park came out with a pirate ship, and one of those carnival ones. So, yeah, they kind of struggled to keep up with the times. And the reason we're coming now, it's late October, October 20th, 2020. It's just a perfect day to come here. There's just very little wind. Temperature is just right. It's just a beautiful day altogether. And then around here we had the Ferris wheel and stuff like that. The merry-go-round were close. Ferris wheel was next to it. The slide, I think the slide was right, almost maybe at the back of this building here, the slide stood. As well as they called it the Speedway, which was, behind this house, and it came around here and maybe up to that over there. So there is a third row that I just neglected. So maybe this park wasn't really as small as I thought it was. But yeah, right around here maybe at this intersection was the carousel. That was one of the last buildings to remain because they thought they might have been able to save it. Unfortunately, they couldn't. Now we're coming to the rotary, or as the rest of the world calls them, roundabouts. And yeah, over here where these two houses were was the roller coaster. And there actually was a plan to save the roller coaster and the condo association to run it. Unfortunately, somebody torched the, what do you call it? Oh, the ballroom. Somebody torched that and it took a piece of the roller coaster with it. And vandals and scrappers stole a bunch of the lift hill equipment, which I guess they didn't want the added expense of rebuilding that when the coaster itself would have been a project in itself. As you can see here, Carousel Lane, because it goes approximately to where it was. So yeah, we had the roller coaster in here, and then next to it, right where that house was, the ballroom. Steamboats at the in the lake. And yeah, over here on the far end there used to be another building where they had flea markets. Sometimes we got our hopes up thinking we were going to Whalom Park, only that my mother wanted to go to the flea market. Yeah, the only thing I cared about here was the Pirate's Den. When that burnt down, my will to come here kind of died with it. So, not quite done yet. And we'd be out of the park now. And like I said, right around here-ish was the 6-car garage style building converted into skee-ball. At some point it was redone to look less garagey. And pick it up at the lake, at the swimming. Before we go there, yeah, apparently there were some mixed rumors going around that a pitch and putt was being converted into solar panels. It's a pitch and putt that's in Lancaster off Route 2, not this place. But this has always been there, and it still is. The pitch and putt, which I don't know how that kind of works, because I know the camera's making it look not as big as it is, but you're putting up a big hill, so you're not really getting your true distance. Although, in a way, if you say you can hit 220 yards here, you did a pretty good job, because you're going up quite a steep hill. It almost looks like they had batting cages at some point, but that does not appear to be what that is. All right, we'll head over to the lake, the public swimming, and more condos. Well, here's what's left of the Whalom Park beach. And like I said, the water slide was in here at some point. Wasn't very big. And that beach house over there, that, I don't know if it's original structure, I think it is, but it wasn't the bathhouses that we used. Now all sectioned off. I just remember as a kid, when my summer camp went here, we would be swimming here, and right in that spot. As they're swimming, you can watch the roller coaster come and go. So that's pretty much it. We've seen everything there is, and the wind will not cooperate. We're holding it upside down to orient this as we would be seeing it, the coaster being right there. The ski ball, the ballroom that burnt down. There are other things. Anyway, that's it. I wanted to do one more video when this condo thing was done, and after I saw a video of somebody going through here, it's finally done. So that's what we got for you. There's a look at the beach side where we started. That'll be it. JoeJeff551 saying, hope you enjoyed, and have a good one.